Jorge Masvidal sent a message to Ben Askren. He posted this video to his Instagram. In the caption, he wrote, "At Ben Askren, God bless you. You are a real warrior, brother."
This goes out to the one and only Ben Askren. What's up, my brothers? I know we were rivals in the ring. I just want to say, God bless you. And when I get back in America, if I could come shake your hand, brother, and just share a prayer with you, it'll be amazing, man. I know you're going to pull through this because you're a warrior, brother. God bless. Your story is crazy inspirational, what you're going through right now. God bless you, man. I'm hoping to get back and be able to just shake your hand, bro. I hope all is well, brother.
Conor McGregor recently announced that Yoel Romero has signed with BKFC. Yoel reveals why he made this decision. He said, "When I left the UFC, BKFC was always very interested. In fact, that's when I came to know about them, and we had a meeting with my manager, so there was a possibility there. But I wanted to continue fighting in MMA. So now that I leave Bellator, I was going to start with GFL, but now after what happened with GFL, we're looking for the best options to fight." Dave again reached out, along with Conor McGregor, who likes me, and said, "Now is the time. Stop saying no. Now is the time." They did a great job because BKFC did a great job with my manager by giving me the opportunity, but also staying flexible. I can do BKFC, but also continue doing MMA. There are several organizations that are still interested in me fighting for them in MMA, but remember, everything has to be right with the purse. Everything has to be right with the purse. When you get to a certain level, the pay has to be right. You have legacy, you have name. So we're in agreement with BKFC. We're in. Now we're just negotiating the details of my debut in the ring. That's the first thing I always have in mind. Bernard Hopkins. I plan on retiring at 52, but retire well, without taking a beating. That's why I live a very clean life and stay disciplined, to have a long career. Calvin Kattar responds to Steve Garcia saying that he wants to be the first person to knock him out in the UFC. The two are set to fight tonight at UFC Nashville.
Yeah, we got a tough opponent against us, Steve Garcia. He's on a little bit of a streak, and we're looking to put an end to that on Saturday. Yeah, a guy that brings forward pressure. You're not going to have a tough time looking for a fight, you know. So, yeah, we've been prepared to deal with people that are bringing pressure like that, and really just ready for all situations should they present themselves. We have guys trying to mimic his style as best as possible. Obviously, we don't have Steve Garcia in there to work with, but we do our best to find guys that fight similarly, and we're prepared to go out and put on a show. Yeah, we'll see how that works out for him.
Simple as that.
Yeah, not all the talking in the world ain't gonna do. We'll see him tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm just expecting to go and do what I got to do to get my hand raised by any means necessary every time I step foot in the octagon. I've always been well prepared, and my mindset's always been ready to go. I really don't got to change much this one. I just got to go in there and do what I do and fight to the best of my abilities. That should be enough.
Renato Moicano thinks Calvin Kattar is going to get destroyed by Steve Garcia tonight.
Calvin Kattar going to be destroyed.
Yes, I agree.
I used to think Steve Garcia was trash.
The question I have for you guys, though, is Calvin Kattar, generally speaking, is very durable. Does he make it all 3 rounds and lose on the scorecard?
Yes. Man, I beat the off this guy too.
He had 116 significant strikes on Calvin Kattar, bro.
His legs were destroyed. He was not even defending anymore, you know?
Bro, Calvin Kattar, his 4-fight losing streak is to Josh Emmett, Arnold Allen, Aljamain, and Yusuf Zalal, bro.
Sean Strickland spars with UFC welterweight Philip Rowe. Dustin Poirier is preparing for his final UFC fight against Max Holloway for the BMF title at UFC 318. On the Fitz Take podcast, Dustin says he's doing everything extra to make sure this last fight is his best one.
I tried to get into like the middle space of this last one, try to do everything right, not that I didn't before, but just try to be extra. Like I started my diet a few weeks before I even left to come out for training camp. And I've been in South Florida for 8 weeks now. So just try to get ahead of everything, you know. We'll try to make the last one the best one and show the world that I'm walking away from this sport, not because I feel like I can't compete with these guys or anything like that. I'm not getting squeezed out of the sport. I'm not letting the sport retire me. I want to go out there, have an incredible performance, and leave on my terms.
BKFC president David Feldman says that it's totally possible that Conor McGregor competes in BKFC one day. For those who don't know, Conor owns a large stake in the company, and Feldman believes that he'd take a fight to help promote the brand. In an interview with MMA Junkie, Feldman said if he gets those 2 UFC fights done, 100% he does. But that's a long way away. If he has the drive to do it, which I think he does. I've seen a different Conor McGregor. You see different Conor McGregors. You see a guy who's like, hey, let me run for president and let me do different things. Then you could see a guy who wants to take care of his family really good, which he always does. But take care of his family, go to the gym and train, and I know which Conor I'm getting. And I'm getting that Conor right now. So I wouldn't be surprised. And why wouldn't he though? It's going to help skyrocket the equity that he has. So why wouldn't he? Look, Conor is a difficult guy to work with if you don't understand him. I understand him 100%. I know what he's good at, he knows what I'm good at, and we bounce off each other very, very well. If you don't, if you have a problem, if you have an ego, you're not going to work with Conor McGregor. I don't. I just want to see the company go to the top, and he's going to help take me there. Sergei Pavlovich uploaded new footage of him hitting pads. He is preparing to fight Waldo Cortes-Acosta at UFC Shanghai on August 23rd. Jon Jones has responded to Daniel Cormier saying he quit by retiring.
John quit.
John quit, is that right?
Call it what it is. Wow. John quit.
How do you say that? Why is that the word choice? Why is that the word choice?
Bro, I said this on my YouTube channel
John
the other
retired.
day. When Jon Jones and I were fighting, he says, I will see in the octagon a 38-year-old man while I'm just entering into my prime. Those words are now the exact same words that can be spoken to him on the other side. When the words were related to him, he said, I'm out. I'm not doing it. That's why I said he quit.
He also knows his body, so is it a smart move?
He could have said that a long time ago. Because you know why he didn't?
Those decisions are hard.
But you want to know why he didn't? He's trying to convince himself that he still could put in the work necessary to go beat this dude. Jon Jones and Stipe fought when there was an interim champion. He fights a dude that hasn't fought for 3 years. If he'd have walked away, we said, what an ending for your last fight. But instead he waited, and that's where the mistake was. If I was Jon Jones, as scary as this was to fight Tom Aspinall, I would have fought him already.
Jon responded via X. This user wrote, Jon, DC says you're a quitter. Jon said, sometimes you gotta know when to quit. Sometimes you gotta know when to let things go. We should be constantly evolving. Quitting certain things could be the best decision a person ever made. This user replied saying, ducking Tom Aspinall, best decision you've ever made? Jon said, choosing when to attack and where you want the battlefield to be is not ducking, my friend. He followed up saying, it's always entertaining watching the naysayers act like they've got me figured out. They forgot this isn't checkers, it's chess. You don't get this far in the game moving without purpose. Tallison Teixeira versus Derrick Lewis is set to go down tonight at UFC Nashville. Teixeira is just 25 years old and undefeated at 8-0. Although Derrick has much more experience, Teixeira believes he will make the fight look easy.
Eu acredito que pela forma que eu trabalhei.
I think it shows that from the style that I have that I'm going to be a problem for him. I'm unpredictable and I bring a doubt to his mind. I think because of the way that I have worked for this, I'm going to make the fight look easy. Not that it's an easy challenge, but I will make it pretty much. I think I see it going like my last fight. I will make it look easy because I present a lot of doubt.
Pera, eu vejo eu fazendo o Derrick errar.
I think I'm going to make him miss, not just once, but a couple of times. And every time he misses, I am going to punish him, and I am going to inflict a lot of damage. So I think the damage is, him on the floor, on the ground, and me with my arm raised.
Baseado no que eu venho treinando, eu acredito.
I think for what I've been working, I don't think people are going to see much of it either. I think it may be longer than the last fight. I think the crowd is going to be able to see, the quickest, more versatile, and and smarter fighter in the heavyweights that they've seen.
Daniel Cormier gave his take on the recent rumors that Khamzat Chimaev is injured and unable to make it to UFC 319 to challenge Dricus du Plessis for the middleweight title. DC says that he recently saw Khamzat training and confirms he is not injured.
Guys, UFC Chicago. Khamzat Chimaev is supposed to fight Dricus du Plessis. Not even a month ago, there were rumors that Khamzat Chimaev was injured, that he was not going to be in Chicago. Guess what? He's going to Chicago. I saw him training with Coach Calavita in the garage down in Los Angeles. And if you're training with that man, there is nothing wrong with you. Because the way that he pushes his athletes, the way that he works them to exhaustion, the way that he really does test you mentally, physically, that means you cannot be injured. And if Khamzat Chimaev was to have any issue with Dricus du Plessis, as we saw with Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman, it would be the longer fight and the cardio. If there's a guy that can get him ready, it is Coach Cal. It seems like he's doing all the right things. But hold on a minute. You do not look past DDP. Time and time again, people want to disrespect this young man. He is a dominant champion, and he intends to get the job done again at UFC 319 down in Chicago. I can't wait. I was so bummed when I heard that fight may be canceled. But now that I know Chimaev's here, Chimaev's in the United States, it's all systems go. And there's nothing better in terms of that thought to me as a guy that gets next to the octagon. Boy, it's going to be good. I cannot wait for UFC 319.
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. These comments are in reference to the unhinged DMs between John Jones and a random user on X. The first one's from John O. Harper 4729. It says, Jones didn't unretire to fight again. He unretired because he misses being the center of attention. The second one says, bro missed the best opportunity to talk about hiding in the closet. And the final one's from Iceman29992. It says, LOL, Jones is the most insecure athlete ever. It's obvious people get under his skin. He falls back on bragging about his money to cope with being a scummy loser of a person. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.